Hello, everyone, and welcome to a rewatch of the 2011 USC Oregon game. I am Jordan Moore. I got the game's heroes with me today. Matt Barkley, the quarterback. They're pumping him up right now on the ABC broadcast at the start of this thing. Robert Woods, who came into this game all banged up, but still came through with 2 touchdowns. And then these young freshman linebackers, Pullard, Dion Bailey. No way they could stop this Oregon high-octane offense, but did about as good as anyone did that season with the Ducks and pulled off. Doesn't happen at USC very often, but pulled off a monumental upset. Usually we're on the other side of things, but these guys got it done on a very cold night in Eugene. While they get the broadcast set, why don't you guys jump in and let me know what you guys were thinking going into this crazy game where you were sort of the underdogs. Matt, why don't we start with you?
Sure. I have a kind of interesting perspective because my first year in the NFL, I got drafted to the Eagles with Chip Kelly, right? Of all coaches, of all teams. And some of the assistant coaches that were at Oregon with him came to the Eagles. And I remember one of them saying that he was standing behind the field goal post right there watching warm-ups and seeing Dwayne Wade, LeBron, all these guys there, and his players were so hyped, and he just thought to himself, we're going to get our blanks kicked just because they were so tuned up and out of whack thinking about all the hype that they weren't ready for what was about to come to them.
Woody, how healthy were you? I honestly forgot that you were hurt, and then they'll talk about it in the broadcast. They say, we don't even know if he's going to play. He's got a shoulder. He's got an ankle. What was it?
Yeah, I think that whole year I was dealing with the ankle on and off, but I remember getting like a shoulder splinter and barely being able to lift my arm, but just going into this game, knowing the matchup it was, you couldn't miss this one.
Hayes, again, I mentioned you guys. I forgot you were just redshirt freshmen. You both had huge freshman years. You and Dion tied for the team lead in tackles. What did you know about this? I mean, you guys hadn't played them yet. I mean, we had not much success against them in the years coming up to this game. What did you guys know coming in?
I mean, shoot, from what we heard, they were electrifying. It was exciting to watch. And shoot, I mean, you can ask Dion the same question. We were ecstatic to get out there and play, show the world what we were, capable of doing.
Yeah, definitely. For me, I was just more excited to get to experience the tempo and everything. We heard all the hype about how fast they go. And the year before when we was redshirting, we saw how we prepared the team when we was on the scout team for them to prepare, and we was going super fast. Had my guy DJ throwing up, trying to be the Oregon running back, trying to keep up with the pace. So I was just really excited to experience that and just the whole atmosphere out there in Eugene.
Matt, what did you think?
I think they were going into that game. I was going to say, going into that game, I just remember them just being so fast. Everybody on the field was fast. It was just a threat that every time whoever touched the ball, it could be a huge play.
Matt, what do you remember about their defense? I mean, obviously their offense got so much hype, but I mean, they were a good team. They only lost one game coming into this. What did you remember about their defense?
I remember they were kind of like Robert said, they were fast, not only on offense, but on defense. They had a defensive end who played at Long Beach, Pauly, that I remember him just getting the edge, and they had guys who could make plays. So as much talent as they had on defense, we kind of had to manage the game well too on offense. And I think that was one of their strengths at the time was everyone felt like they had to keep up. And so when things got a little further away point-wise, they had to make plays, and that's when they ended up falling apart even more. And that's why they had so many big wins. So we just tried to stick to our game, and we knew we had playmakers, so just make it happen. There you go. There's all the stars. Come out to watch.
When did you guys know that they were going to be there?
Boy.
What's that, Jordan?
When did you guys know that they were going to be there? Did you guys just notice them?
Pre-game warm-up.
Pre-game warm-up.
We looked on the sideline and saw these giants over there. And Carmelo Anthony over there. And then LeBron, he just started seeing them all. Dwayne Wade. And, our coach Kiffin came and hyped us up, told us that Kobe was around somewhere on our side.
Kiff.
For sure.
No, I heard that for real. I don't know if this is true, but I heard that Kobe declined because he didn't want to be on the Oregon sideline.
I heard he was up in a suite. And
I heard he was
I heard
up in the
same
suite.
reason. He was up in his suite because he didn't want to be on the Oregon sideline.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Smart man.
Smart man. Smart man.
Should have been on the field, man. Would have
On
loved
our
to see
side.
Kobe.
Was it cold? You guys ever care about cold weather?
Man, I was juiced, so that cold did care. That was perfect football weather.
Yeah, I'd say it
was
was a hype game, but it was
Yeah.
definitely freezing.
It was cold. I don't know what
That's
he's
coming
talking
out.
about. I was freezing for sure. Dang,
So the start of every game, we usually have like our first 12, 15 plays usually mapped out. That's what Kiffin would do. And so we kind of had a vision of what we wanted in the first couple of plays just to get the game started. So I think I've got the call list here. So if I act like I know what I'm talking about, it's only because of that. But this was a run play with a pass option, which we had often just because of our weapons. But I think I, of course, chose to pass it on this play. You look at the leverage up top.
How loud was it?
Noisiest venue in the Pac-12.
Super loud.
Yeah.
Super loud. I want to say this was one of the loudest games we've ever played in.
For sure.
Oh yeah, they juiced.
And it felt like the fans are like right on top of you, like
Yeah.
Yeah, they are
constantly
pretty on top of
yelling.
you in that stadium.
Man,
Super
I'm getting
close.
chills, bro. I'm getting chills
Yeah,
over here.
no, I'm into it. I haven't seen this game in years.
Around the receiver and made a play for a big loss. Now Barkley.
Yeah.
You guys nervous? You guys get nervous in games like this?
Nah.
No,
You live for this
I-
moment.
yeah, you live for these big games. I would say
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
remember one like it's like later in the game, maybe like third, fourth quarter. But just being in the huddle, in the offensive huddle, it was like so focused all game. And I want to say like Marcus Martin, he did something like cracked a joke or something. And then like everybody kind of like relaxed in that moment and laughed, but you saw that everybody was comfortable, still focused, but not like tense. You know, everybody's able to laugh and enjoy the moment.
This is a deep roll to the left for the comeback.
Yeah, you got two guys in motion there.
It's never a good thing.
No rollout action?
Definitely a flag.
Kip's not happy. About to get Kip's first
That
not
guy's-
happy face.
That guy's an NFL ref now.
Yeah, Troy Hill's
really?
the corner on that play. He's actually my teammate. I remember this play. I can't let him. He broke up the ball, and I couldn't let him live him down. I still tried to compete with him to the fullest because of that play.
That guy right there went to Sarah?
No, he plays on the Rams now, number 2,
Oh,
Troy
he plays
Hill.
the Rams. Nice.
Yeah, so it's like I have that memory. He probably doesn't remember it, but I remember it for sure.
Trophy candidate Michael James awaits this punt. Negretti had a great fake punt, but they won't be faking.
This dude was a bad man in college.
LaMichael.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was a bad dude.
They're talking about Conor Grady.
He was a bad dude too. Grady.
You were coming off the Washington game. That was Negretti's fake punt. That was his moment right there. That's what
Oh
I'm
man,
talking about.
we was ready to put Grady at running back.
So this is the first defensive series. They drove a little bit, and then this play happened, which is there's a lot of reviews in this game.
Yeah, it was.
So that's the ruling on it. DeAnthony Thomas was the intended receiver. At
Watch, they're going to call this a lateral.
Take another look at this.
And this is an option.
TJ was flying.
Flying.
I don't
Yeah,
remember that
he
being the
is fine.
first play.
I don't need
It
that.
was this was this is just their first drive.
First later play in the drive.
Is that not a lateral? I look like a lateral to
We're
me.
gonna go off your play sheet a little bit. Yeah, this is Ed Hockley's son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the whistle?
Big muscles.
Sounded on the play, okay? But it's a continuation. And the official upstairs.
So what was the hardest thing, Hayes, when you were preparing for this Oregon offense? Was it just the speed of it? Was it all the misdirection? What was it when this play is a perfect example of all the stuff you had to deal with?
Shoot, I would think it was probably practicing all week, making sure I was in shape for Saturday. So I think that was probably the hardest part, listening to Coach O every single day. Run.
I haven't seen him in all the way. Here we go.
After review, it was a backward pass. Because USC recovered the ball in the immediate aftermath, it will be USC's ball.
Yeah, it was a different type of practice going into this week on both sides. Just the type of speed, the conditioning after practice. It's a lot of preparation.
Yeah.
I think this is drive 3 now, Matt. We did a couple punts, and then you let it go. First play of the drive.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, nine.
Sir.
Okay,
Took the
nah.
shot.
Your boy Troy right there.
Yeah. There you go. Huh?
I love that.
You knew Marquise, man. When did these guys all realize he was a different kind of animal? Because he didn't come in necessarily with a huge wide receiver hype, but man, he takes this game over for a long stretch.
Yeah, I would say probably training camp because that summer was bringing them up to campus, and he was running routes, he was playing receiver, and boy, he just like not catching the ball. We were like, all right, he's gonna play safety here, and then and then just got into training camp, and he was able to just focus in and really dominate and win a lot of contested balls and show his speed.
How long did it take you to trust him, Matt? I mean, you throw him a lot of 50-50 balls in this game like that one.
Yeah, I had the utmost confidence in my guys to go get it. Probably more than a lot of teams I've been on in the league, to be honest. Just knowing that they'd make a play. And so you put it anywhere close, there was going to be a play made, which was fun.
Even though they had 8 points, takes them a while sometimes to find their rhythm as an offense.
Well, Michael James, the running back, swings out on a crease. Checks back.
Hey, I'm getting tossed out the club.
And he is at the 43-yard line.
Back then, it was so hard for us to like get ready for a team like this because we didn't run this type of offense. Like now, exactly. At SC, they run the spread, so they can prepare for something like this a lot better. Like our offensive guys had to do stuff they were not doing.
Do you guys remember watching a certain cut up or film of another team that stopped them and being like, this is kind of how we got to play it?
It's weird because Stanford, they always stuff them, but we play a different defense than them. So we really didn't have a good example of a defense that was similar to ours that had success. Only like a 3-4 had success, but we didn't run that.
Now on first down, they come back again.
It was really just a big emphasis on tackling. We was just going to depend on making open field tackles, rallying to the ball, being in shape.
Yeah, Dion, I was talking to you about a different game last year, and you said like the craziest thing about your career was that you made it through Pac-12 playing linebacker at your size, but it feels like this was the type of game that it was perfect for, right? I mean, this is why they played you at linebacker. You were playing outside in the whole game. Oh, there's Hayes.
Okay, Pizzle.
Let's go, Hayes.
Hayes, number 10, the linebacker, poured in on him.
Ooh, I remember Hayes. You had a game this game, boy.
Oh, I remember you telling me like, "Hey, cut it off."
Yeah, you balled this game for sure.
14 tackles, 2 solo.
Yeah,
two
ball. You balled.
Solo.
Monty was sending you, boy.
Big Monty.
Barner in as the running back, gets the handoff. And Barner.
This was Oregon, right? The two things I noticed about this game, I mean, fourth down, they were one of the early people just go for it all the time on fourth down, and the two-point conversions. Two-point conversions were really hot at this time in college football.
We knew not even to look to the sideline at fourth down. We just stayed on the field. Just
for sure.
Fourth and 8.
It had to be like 4th and 20 for them not to go for it. It was always 4 downs. Chip don't never punt.
And so many screens.
Like they gonna call a timeout either.
We got lucky right there, though. It was a tunnel, boy. We got lucky right there.
You saw the two Oregon quarterbacks conferring on the sideline. And again on first down and a miscommunication.
Who did it wrong?
I think I did on this. It was supposed to be a hitch, yeah.
The worst part about that, the worst part was they call intentional grounding on this? Or
yes,
I think they did, yeah.
Watch this.
A late flag.
Yep, like 5 minutes after the play.
I just remember that being like, oh, that's bizarre. Now look at these guys. Come on.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't remember this. Dang, that's a terrible flag.
Super late flag.
The quarterback is in the pit and threw the ball
It doesn't make sense.
No, not this late.
Well, I think it's the wrong rule, too, because I think you need to be under pressure for it to be ground.
Yeah, you do.
Because it's like spiking the football.
You have to be under duress.
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
You'll see the replay. You're not under any pressure.
I mean, there was no receiver over there. Technically, Sean Huckley is right about that. However, if you watch, Woods goes in the wrong direction.
There was a receiver. There was a receiver.
That's why I thought, I counted. Still in my direction.
I've never seen that. I told him I would not second guess him often, but I will.
There's a couple weird calls in this game. This is Pac-12 ref situations in this game.
Man.
Second down. Amir Carlisle is in as one of the backs. And they swing it out.
Amir Carlisle.
He's driven out of bounds on the far side. That's the freshman from Santa Clara, Taylor Hart.
The machine.
And we came into this game, much like last week, expecting potentially a lot of points, and we still may see that. But
And wasn't this Oregon team, like, if they beat us, they were going to go to the national championship or something like that, weren't they?
Yeah, they said at the top, Oklahoma State, I guess, was ahead of them, had lost, so they were going to slide into that picture if they won this game. They also had not lost a home game in years. I remember that was what Lane played up in the post game, breaking the streak.
Straight back and
Yeah.
Oh, just like get the first.
Yeah.
Get the first.
Marquise had a great game this one too.
Monster.
Yeah,
And on third down and long, with Oregon bringing pressure, it's all about pass protection. Can you hold up and give Barkley?
Matt, I don't know how you be sitting in that pocket, boy, and they blitzing, looking down the field. I don't know how you do it.
I'm not scared of you. Come on.
I can't believe y'all had so much success throwing the ball, and we really only ran 2 wides.
They gave him enough time, and he picked it up and hit Red Ellison.
That pass, bro.
9 yards on that
Pass,
play.
bro,
The blitz
for
was
sure.
coming from the defensive right
Rhett
side.
was such a solid guy that you could always just count on, right?
Yeah.
Just
Machine.
the blocking game, just getting yards.
Comes back to the right and eventually finds Ellison.
Right.
A little small thing, recognizing a pre-snap.
There's a ton of NFL guys in this game.
Man, I'm looking at Matt Khalil tower over the hole.
Big dude.
At the 46-yard line.
I think everybody on this O-line played in the NFL.
Formation.
Ooh, get it.
Off for the first
Yeah, it was a good old line.
Oh, it was a good block up top.
Definitely.
He is the senior. His father, Wendell
Moody.
played for
Pancake.
I saw that.
Big Mark.
You know, you look at Tyler and McNeil, and USC relies
We were
so
pretty
much
big.
on Barkley throwing the football.
For sure it was big.
Yeah.
We had a pretty big team.
On the running game,
Oh, I forgot Ross was on the offensive side, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely blocking everybody.
Blocking, boy.
McNeil is the eye back as Ellison motions out.
Oh, slug a win.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a dime, Matt. That was a dime.
Right over top.
That was
Yeah.
a duck. No pun intended.
80
Oh,
Look at that safety fly over there.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Good snag, Woo.
Okay.
4 for 4.
When you going up to catch a ball like that, Woods, do you be thinking about you about to get hit?
No, it's a couple different things. I mean, you know you're going to get hit, but I mean, the quarterback, puts it in a great position to protect you.
Yeah.
And you kind of jump and cradle up to where, you
Try to
just
protect
catch
yourself
one.
a little
Yeah, you
bit.
protect yourself with the jump. You don't want to be extended, though, for sure.
Expose them ribs. Don't do that.
Ted Gilmore.
What happened to Gilmore? Where he at now?
He was coaching with the Raiders a few years back. I used to always see him. I don't know where he is now.
I don't ever remember us
man.
running the Wildcat. Was this the only time we ran those?
snap.
Oh, man.
Oh,
We didn't put Matt out there too often. Oh,
better duck.
Oh, he better protect
Finish
himself
strong.
out there.
This is the battle.
Ooh.
Goes to the offense.
Oh, let's go.
Patterson was the defensive back. Let's
That
take
call
another
was too
look
easy.
at
That
this.
was
It was a
double
tug of
phase.
war.
Dude.
Patterson goes up once the ball's caught and thinks
He
he's
tried
got
to snatch it. He tried to snatch it. He got strong
Good
hands.
competition right
He
there.
got
That's a good
strong
catch.
hands.
You got strong hands.
Strong
That's
hands.
a good catch, boy. Ooh, I missed them vapors.
the ball, he's got his feet
Man.
down, and he's got a touchdown. But again, it's a matchup to Matt Barkley's
Yeah,
life.
y'all out there balling, boy.
Tacks on the extra point.
Man, I used to score a lot of points, man.
Yeah, this is one of those games where you have to.
We didn't think we was gonna have to, but boy, we thank God every point we all score.
Tight.
So you see, like, you were off. I mean, we didn't show every single drive here, but I mean, you really had them slowed down. Did you feel like you had them in a good spot on D, or you always sort of wary of what they could do?
We had them, like we was rolling, and they just. I mean, you can only keep a great offense down. They were a great off. You're gonna keep them down for so long. They were great. They eventually got rolling. We just held them off long enough to get the W.
Yeah, as an offense, we were just like keep scoring, no matter what. Like, you just never know with them. They score fast, score late.
Fast.
LaMichael.
Ooh. And they go for two all the time, so they catch up pretty and cover a pretty large deficit pretty quick.
Thomas wants to make a big play tonight. He's downplayed it all week. The media's talked to him about going up against USC. Everybody thought he would go to USC. He's tried to say
This is probably the fastest team we saw while I was at SC for sure. Like as a whole, like Josh Huff, DeAnthony, Michael, they were pretty fast as a whole.
Well, was this, do you know the schedule, Jordan? Was this before or after a bye week? I remember one of these years we had a bye week and then played Oregon, and we just ran the whole week to get ready.
That was our red shirt year, Matt. Yes, that's the year that they killed DJ as the scout running back. Killed him.
We were looking for finally some time off in a bye week. No, we're gonna run every day.
Oh, ran. Man.
So this year you had that classic Stanford game. You lose in overtime, and then you came back, and the offense at that point is really rolling. You had back-to-back wins. You're coming in off the home win over Washington.
Nick
You were
Perry.
really rolling. I mean, you were scoring 40-plus points a game in all those.
Scoring.
And then this was super late because then you roll this into 50-0.
Yeah, because what, UCLA's next week?
Yep.
Yeah, ooh, somebody blew it. I remember 32, he was supposed to be, that was Colt, right?
Yeah, Colt Ayerla, he was supposed to be a dude.
He was nice, yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I don't know who play that is.
Well, that's tough because that backer in man, that backer got to track the run, right? And
yeah,
so
you got to play the run.
Tight end coming on the top.
They got so many options in every play.
Every play.
Oh, somebody running free again.
Yeah, that was the wrong person we needed to be open.
Yeah, I remember just hoping DeAnthony wouldn't have a good game. Just every time he played USC, you know, it's like you should have came here. You should have came here. But he had a great game.
What do you think of like Southern California football high school legends in like the last decade? Where was he at the top? I think Adoree was also a guy that just was legendary. So I feel like Black Mamba was the dude. I mean, Hayes, you played with him.
He was,
Yeah, he was special.
He had a name.
He was for sure
Everybody
special.
knew his name for sure. Knew who he was.
Yeah, he brought people to his games, going to you guys state championship game.
For sure. Just from the Snoop League and all of that.
The city championship that was against Narbonne. He was running like from sideline to sideline, doing what he wanted from high school and you see sometimes in college.
McNeil, the running back.
Super fast in high school.
Barkley, you guys just rolling at this point, man? I mean,
I guess so. We don't even need to talk about it. Look at that. Bam. Just driving in there.
2-yard line.
I mean, you really scored almost every – once you hit the bomb, you score in almost every possession basically through the third quarter. I mean, they rarely stopped you.
They were rolling. They look sad out there.
They look sad.
They're like, I don't like this SC. Ooh, 3 for 105?
100 in the first half.
Ron James has to be impressed that he was an all-state wide receiver in Oregon before he went to basketball full-time. Here comes Tyler, and he swallowed. Terrific
Who's that?
by the Ducks that time as they come up and make the play.
27 power didn't work. I'm looking at this call sheet. Hey, this next call though.
He went backside.
Q8 X rub. Oh yeah.
Another Q8.
This is the best because we end up calling it twice in the game. We'll get to the next one later, but this was like a quick sprint out to the flat.
Oh, is this the Woody play?
Act like he's going across. Outflank him right there.
This play.
That's the Woody
hate
play.
this play in practice.
Z-Nut. That motion was called Z-Nut.
Yeah.
God, dog. How do team? No one ever caught on to that, but you was the only one that ever ran that play.
Well, with the Z-Nut, it was like sometimes I would go across and then I would go one way, but this time I was able to play like behind Barkley and then had the DB confused.
But he got out away from Mitchell.
Mitch.
And Barkley found him quickly.
Damn, a ton of NFL dudes.
And hold on, they're going to give you the LeBron celebration here. When'd you plan this one, Woody? Or was this
me and Brandon Carswell. Yeah, we saw LeBron on the sideline. On the wrong sideline.
That's great.
So this was huge. This is the last drive of the first half, and you'll see they should score a touchdown. Instead, we get a huge break.
On the sideline at the 27-yard line. Now 1:09 for Kelly and the Ducks.
It's not always about the big play downfield.
Look how fast they get the snap off. They get in. They got to get lined up, and they still get it off under 10 seconds.
And he is short of the first down.
They're running it backed up with a minute to go.
All they do is run. They just want to run. Hope you miss your gap you're supposed to be in, and they're gonna just
they're
take
fast
off.
enough to take it off the top.
That's right. First downs would stop the clock.
Oh man, improvising. Improvising. Gosh,
you got the crowd mad.
And a whistle, the line judge. And it's
it wasn't looking good for us, man. I had to improvise.
Slow y'all butts down.
Kiffin was in a sprint to get down there to be able to get the officials' attention.
Chip Kelly is livid that they wouldn't let LaMichael James up off the field. Let's go back and show you what the Duck coach was upset about. Look
Why
at
is he upset?
Dion barely had him
over the top of him.
Oh,
keeping him down, put a saddle on him, leave him in that chute for a while.
Trying to give you time to get on the field, Pizzle.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't blame him. It's not faking injuries. Guys staying on top of the running.
Funny time.
Little different form of that Striner.
And we hold them here, dang. 1st and 10 in the red zone.
Yeah, it's good to be back on the field, though.
Oh, I remember.
I got lucky on that.
No, he called that a touchdown?
Nah, they're going to change it.
That was an obvious call.
It's terrible.
Boy, Brand, I don't know if he had possession of the football.
Yeah. What? His first step.
He's out. He bobbled.
We good.
He didn't get 1 foot in bounds.
Without a doubt.
His right foot is out of bounds.
I don't know, man. Might have had it out for us.
Right there. The play's
For
dead.
real.
Trying to get that national championship representation.
Decision.
When the receiver controlled the ball, his right foot was out of bounds. It is an incomplete pass.
We were on the sideline
Man, I'm on the field like, thank God. Because I blew that play.
Second down from the Trojans, 18-yard line here in the first half, with USC leading it.
This team going on to play in the Rose Bowl.
I had one of those later.
Right?
Yeah.
Look at this formation. What is that?
Bro,
Like,
how do you think we feel looking at it?
Remember, Dion, we would have played them 2 weeks later again.
Again, but at home, though, right?
No, at their place again.
They crib.
Wait,
we were 10-2, remember?
Yeah.
We were 10-2.
Trojans have got it.
Oh, wow.
The Trojans recovered by
Big
Starling.
break.
Jawanza Starling.
Yeah. Got that brace.
Who made that hit?
Yeah.
Why did he have that brace on? What was wrong with him?
I don't know. He was watching Ray Lewis highlights or something. No.
How big is that momentum when you're going up 21-7 instead of 21-14 in a game like this?
That was huge.
Huge.
You remember the halftime locker room? Anyone remember Kip's halftime speech? What was it?
I don't.
He probably ain't say much at halftime.
That's funny.
Good tackle, DJ.
Gotta
let him know. Let him know. Hey, we run too.
And you get an inside push there from Devin Kennard as well, who's had a great game tonight, a former linebacker who has moved down to defensive end.
Come back that next year, though, and they got Mariota out there running around, boy.
This is a different monster.
Big difference.
Yeah, Nick Perry. People be sleeping on Nick out there. A beast.
Makes still another stop.
Here's a misread by Darren Thomas.
Yeah, he had a big game. He had a big sack late in the game in the last drive.
James, then he would pull the ball out. This time Perry looked like he made
Nick was All-American this year, wasn't he?
So by the time Darren Thomas pulled the ball, number 8's just standing there ready to make a tackle. Poor read there by Darren Thomas.
So it is third down and 10 already for the Ducks, opening up the second half with the first possession.
Let me get another one.
Oh.
Accident. Accident. I'll be a truth. Accident.
So it's going to be forced. It was Pullard who forced that fumble. The other linebacker, Hayes Pullard.
How many 2-sack games have you had in your career, Hayes? No, this is it. I got to give you a sack on this, right?
No, this is. Oh, I thought you meant after this. Yeah, this is the only one.
Outside and does not give up on the play. And Darren Thomas had the ball down, removed.
Oh, DK blew it.
All right, watch this. Get it right away.
Just knocking the ball out of his hands.
Block.
Oh, that's right.
This is what TJ did.
Yeah.
He still did.
Is that right?
This is huge. Too. That was huge.
Yeah, we came out the gate hot, boy.
Ooh, TJ was so good at that up and under.
7 steps, right?
7
steps. I'm in heaven.
Ooh, I thought he heard his knee right there.
This team had a thing going with block kicks. I remember Khalil was blocking a lot of kicks.
It was a big year this year. We had a big year with block kicks. He led the country.
I had to change my angle. He was moving a little too fast.
Oh, you're not going to show that fumble with me and Khalid?
You got held to a field goal. We'll just leave it at that. Held to a field goal. First and goal tonight.
Running sideline to sideline. Instead of giving him creases upfield, they're being able to get in position with linebackers and safeties, making him bounce it and run more east and west, and they've got the speed to chase him down.
Herbie, we saw McAllister go off the field with an injury for the Trojans. Now they set a screen play.
They coming back to that play.
Wasn't
he good too, number 1?
Yeah,
Josh was solid.
Yeah. He was like the number 1 receiver.
Uh-huh.
He came to the Eagles. Chip Kelly brought him to Philadelphia for a year or 2.
Yeah, it's ugly. Yeah.
Fast dude. They had like 5 running backs out there. Some of them was lined up.
He was really good too.
Yeah,
Barner.
Next year.
Kenyon Barner. He's with the Eagles too, huh?
Hey man, Chip just brought everyone he knew.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Just
Chip
like
had to
he brought everybody to Seattle.
There were some guys on that roster from Oregon that should not have been in the NFL.
Barkley, mobile quarterback.
Oh, okay, Vic.
First down.
That's why he wears number 7, actually.
Inspired.
Yeah.
Because they're so locked in to what Robert Woods can do. Now, once they lock into Woods, they double team him with an inside linebacker and also with a corner. It gives a lot of space to the outside, and Matt Barkley isn't the most fleet-footed quarterback.
Oh, Herbie taking
Oh, come on.
Watch the tape.
First down passes in the first half. Let's see what he does here. Content for the handoff.
Okay, Moody.
Yeah.
But talk about Moody a little bit, guys, because he really came on this season. I know, I mean, he had that huge game against Stanford just a couple of weeks before this, and he ran for 1,000 yards this season.
In like 7 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a great back, solid build, speed, good cuts. Really a hard worker. It's always been a stable of backs at USC, and he got his year and he produced. He really took this spot over.
Yeah, Venice High School. He went to Venice, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Baller.
I knew he was a beast from Venice too.
Good trust throw.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay, 9. Good ball, Bart.
Nina.
Fine catch after another, and the Trojans are knocking on the door.
And Marquise Lee against double coverage.
I forgot his name in this route.
XV? Do we not just call
He
him
wasn't even
XV?
running.
See?
He mistimed his jump. Matt Barkley took a chance there. He counted on his receiver to go up and make the play, and he did.
USC long jumper as well.
46 yards receiving tonight for number 9.
Yeah, track coaches always told me he could have been Olympic decathlete if that's all he wanted to do. That he was.
Yeah, if he put his mind to jumping, he could jump out the gym, jump out the sand pit.
For sure.
Give it to him.
End zone is Mark Tyler. Touchdown. The line judge
Yeah.
The effort,
said
Marcus
he
B.
broke the plane. And this might go back upstairs to our instant replay official, Bill Richardson, who's had some tough calls tonight.
Brandon, it looks like he extended the ball across the plane before his knee touch. Let's take a look at this. Still up.
Yep.
Still up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right at the line. It's maybe an inch short.
Oh, what are you looking at, dude? It's over.
They
Touchdown.
didn't even review it.
They were out to get us, man.
They for sure
Crazy.
was.
That definitely looked
Well, I
like
mean,
a
the truth
touchdown.
of it is, like, because we couldn't go to postseason play, you do wonder stuff like that. I mean, there was nothing.
Yeah, like, they didn't want us.
USC winning this game.
Quick pass by Barkley to Woods. It was a
But they'll say it later on. But like, did you guys feel like this was our championship game since you knew you couldn't play in the Pac-12 championship and you couldn't go to a bowl game?
Shoot, I felt like it was the UCLA game. And we off 50-0.
Kind of had to make a statement in that game, right?
Yeah, like, I feel like
that
we
was our bowl
just,
game.
yeah, we just came into this game just hype off of just playing a good team. Like, we didn't even think about nothing about the postseason going into this game.
And here's McNeil. Breaks a tackle.
Ooh.
Battles his way to midfield and
What does it feel like when the O-linemen run into the pile, like, and try to push off for it? Do y'all, I know y'all feel that. Like,
I almost feel like you just sandwiched already and someone hit the pile and you just not really feeling it, you just on top, just getting knocked either way. You have no control of it. Yeah, you have no control.
And I think there's a real chip on their shoulder about Chip Kelly and about the Oregon Ducks. Not only is this their bowl game, but I think they're anxious to try to avenge the last couple years and the way this game has gone.
Second and 2.
second down
Free
and
Reggie.
2.
Reggie's free.
I know, Reggie's free.
McNeil for the first down. Ball security so important tonight as the Ducks have turned
Reggie
it
needs a
over.
statue somewhere.
And USC with only one, but two.
Jumping over a UCLA player.
that would be so
Oh,
dope.
fire.
A lot of times, fans around the country.
No players have statues at the college, though,
No statues, no.
The faceless statues.
huh?
The Wild Bunch has a statue at Heritage Hall, the original Wild Bunch.
Yeah.
There's a statue outside of Heritage, too. It's a coach, I think.
Well, John McKay's got one from the
Okay, yeah, or the McKay Center. Yeah.
fine run before Eddie
Big
Pleasant can bring him down, but he's across the 40-yard line. And, of course, the fine athletic director and a good friend of ours, Pat.
Dang, back when they used to huddle in college football.
Tell us how delighted he was with the performance by this football team in the first half. But as Pat left, his fingers were crossed. He knows what the Ducks can do in a hurry. 2nd down and 4. Play action, Barkley. Wide open. And Ellison slips out a play that Lane Kiffin has used for years. For an update, here's Robert Flores. And here's Matt Barkley. And he's having a gem of a night here in the Northwest. He was so happy.
Matt, was this the best game you ever played at USC? Like your best performance?
No.
What was?
That Colorado game, I was almost 100%. I was 21 for 22.
Little different kind of opponent, though. You put a lot of numbers on Colorado over the years.
Maybe that Arizona game where Woody went off too, the stat-wise, was one of the better ones.
Man, he was balling versus when we was in high school versus Ohio State that one year. I think it was your first start. He was balling, bro.
Yeah, that was a wild one.
I was at Ohio State, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. That was louder than this.
Yeah, I bet.
I went to the game the year before versus Ohio State at the Coliseum, and I remember seeing Ohio State on sideline looking huge. And I was like, man, like we gotta get on that next year.
His name to Palomalu, which is the family name over in American Samoa to honor his family and his heritage. He is named.
Yeah, I went to when me and my wife went to the bowl game when SC played Ohio State, and I saw Ohio State. They look pretty big. I was like,
they're always like a bigger team.
That Midwest.
Different conferences, different football.
Tyler is in as Palomalu's running back. McNeil will take a breather. Play action at the 5-yard line, and down is Marquise.
826, Z-Snag.
Right away.
How many incompletions did you have this game, Matt?
They're not showing them. Don't worry.
So he throws it low and away. The defender doesn't have a chance to make a play on that ball, and he puts it only where Lee can make it.
Good placement.
Man, is this back before we can even wear colored gloves?
Yeah. Grays only. I like the gray.
Still like the grays.
It was the next year we had to wear them red joints with.
Okay, so this was that same.
So this
look,
is the same play?
Same motion, yeah, same motion
versus zone.
And now they overplay it. They overplay Woody, so you come inside, bam. Oh, I love that. I was like, we run the same play, the same look. Y'all can't guard it. Boom, he's slow.
Does Randall run that same route on the other play too, or are they
same exact look? X rub. He's rubbing versus man. He's rubbing for Woody, but then in zone he'll just hook up right there.
Okay,
perfect.
And you'll see this time they didn't fall.
This has the game's over at this point.
Close. you would think that was it.
Yeah, we thought they may score one more time, but it's a wrap. But boy, we make a huge mistake coming up.
Right here.
Here we go.
Right here. This is the start of it. This ain't even the mistake.
I felt like we were like, don't kick it to
D'Anthony. Don't kick it to D'Anthony.
We got a nice lead. We're like, we're not scared of D'Anthony.
Don't kick it to this man.
And
it drops at the 4, bro. Oh, my.
The start is
bro,
terrible.
In my head, I was like, where's George? Where's George?
Run him down.
We need somebody fast to catch him, please.
And just like that.
God.
Just like that. They turned into the organ everyone was talking about leading up to the week.
That's his second kickoff.
They scored in 14 seconds.
And they're going for 2.
It was pretty loud at this moment.
And now,
yeah, they go for 2. I guess they were trying to get to 16, so then they could have just kept going for 2.
Yeah, I think they plan to go for 2 every.
Yeah.
Because I think they used to do this weird thing where they would line up in a weird formation, then shift into the field goal for PATs.
We did that too, and our fans did not like it, if you recall.
Yeah, I'm back.
You didn't like that?
Remember Baxter brought that in, and our fans were not pleased.
Dude, I got like 3 or 4 extra touchdowns off of that. What was wrong with that?
I love Baxter's special teams philosophy for sure, though. His practice setup, everything, spring ball.
Yeah, I feel like you guys really took to it. I mean, this sort of era. I mean, he obviously had 2 eras at USC, but this era really sort of took to it and like took special teams more seriously than previous years.
Yeah, it was definitely a new approach. I had never looked at special teams the way Coach Bax had taught it.
Yeah, it made you wanna be on the field, want to be on the special teams.
Give me that, ref.
They didn't call that?
They for sure called it. I'm like, sheesh. Didn't even take me on a date first, just hugging me.
I'm looking forward to seeing what he calls this hold. How about mental error?
By the offense, number 74. 10 yards, replay, second down.
Remember earlier he called Grassu for a bear hug on a holding call. Watch Weems this time. Not only does he put his right hand in, he's right there in front of every official.
He didn't even really have to do all that.
Yes, right in the open field. It's about 4 officials threw a flag at it.
When you just got that much girth going in one direction, once they make a decision, I guess they can't change it.
And he keeps it. The ball is kept by the quarterback.
Juwan's been trying to knock his head off.
And he was able to get by Lamar Dawson, the true freshman middle linebacker.
Wasn't he coaching at one point back at SC? Or no?
Juwanza?
Yeah.
I think he's down in Florida with Frankie Telford. They got like
he's doing training down there.
Yeah. I don't think there's any question.
Filippo.
Legend.
Wiley.
Darren Thomas holds the key here in the fourth quarter. His ability to throw the football.
Wiley had a good year this year. He's sort of a forgotten player. Most people don't remember that name.
Yeah.
They have a good year.
He for sure did. I remember we thought we were supposed to get him back.
Hey, what was I always heard Joe Barry was pretty instrumental in this game just because of the tempo. You know, there wasn't always enough time for Monty's calls to get all the way to the field. What was your guys' relationship like with Joe Barry and sort of his effect on this defense?
Down there, the right knee is down, and then the ball.
Sure, we was tight with Joe. I'm about to say we was tight with Joe Barry. I mean, for the little time we were there, I mean, he was a player's coach for sure.
For sure. I love JB. He really convinced me to make the most out of playing linebacker. You know, once I found out about switching from my redshirt year to my redshirt freshman year from safety to linebacker, he made me feel more comfortable with it. And like Hayes said, he's definitely a player's coach, man. You cannot not like Coach Barry. JB with the freshest J's.
The first thing I ever asked about you, Hayes, 2010, your true freshman year when you were, just redshirting, whatever, I asked JB about you, and he said, you can't teach a dog how to bite, and he knows how to bite.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, just love to play, bro. Just love to play ball.
Gallipo hit him, and that was okay, but it was Wiley.
It's Gallipo.
Kind of throws his arm into him and kind of pushes him down while Gallipo has him locked up around his ankle.
Yeah, I agree. Now they come back with the running play, and Barner shoots a tackle, and he's short of the first down. Just short.
These tackles, that's how they made their biggest plays.
So fast, bro.
I wonder what it was like to ref Oregon games. Like, the refs had to be exhausted after these games.
Referees got to be in shape.
Definitely.
That's why they put Hockey Lee on it.
Oh, man. They're moving it now.
And
When you get tired on defense, is it more like within one drive you feel tired because they got the pace going, or is it just the wear and tear of the game and you're just sort of tired at that point in the game?
I think it's that drive.
Yeah,
when they get from one side of the field to the other side, and you still out there, and they can spread it out and run a streak from the slide or run outside zone. It's very exhausting running sideline to sideline.
Yeah, definitely 10, 12, 14 play drive. That'll get you tired. But if you can play, if you're going 3 and out every series, it don't matter if it's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You only play 50, 60 plays.
Exactly.
You're not tired.
But the offensive lineman is tired too, so.
Yeah, I think Oregon, they running skill guys on and off the field, though. They trying to stay fresh where our defense has to stay out.
That's the thing. Oregon was so different. They had literally 20 of the same bodies, just different numbers. So they really cycled players, but nothing changed. It was the same effect that came at you. They did the same stuff.
Across the 20. Darren Thomas complete to the 9-yard line.
You can see us. We're exhausted.
The defense was in good position to take that receiver away. He had to come all the way back to his right.
And they still going fast. They see it.
But they didn't really have long drives all year. They normally just
It was those plays right there, the outside zones where we had to run from sideline to sideline.
And they were cutting.
Now there's Oregon's offense.
It's loud in there right now, I bet. At this moment.
In position, good blocks on the linebackers. Look at the receivers blocking downfield. That's how Barner's used to running, and that time they were able to do that against this SC defense, but there is a player down.
I believe it's Baylor.
Dion, what happened, Dion?
He tried to cut me and roll my ankle. I think the next year, they made cuts illegal. They couldn't do what they were doing this year, run out on screens and stuff and cut you. I don't think they made it a rule. They couldn't do that no more. They rolled up on my ankle, and this was the start of a long career of ankle injuries. I ended up tearing this ankle 2 times in the NFL, and this is where it starts.
Explain why you didn't wait for the trainers and decided to hop off the field.
Dramatic. I don't know why I'm doing this. I have no idea.
Dramatic. Maldonado tacks it on. 38.
Oh, it's getting close.
At this point, I'm thinking, oh no.
The Big Ten. Play action, Barkley. Barkley on a comeback route has got it.
I mean, you thinking at this point, Matt, hey, we probably need some more points?
Yes, definitely. Just protect the ball and just move it down the field, try to get good field position, although that didn't even really matter with these guys. But protect the ball and, hold on to it as long as you can.
Outside of the pocket, puts it low and away, where Lee again.
Yeah, you end up not getting any more points because of the turnovers, but you do have 2 long drives. This one and the next one are both at least time-consuming drives.
Took a lot of time.
Yeah.
I definitely thought we were going to score again.
Well, you move. I mean, that's the frustrating thing is,
We weren't finishing our drive.
Yeah, they never really stopped you.
Oh, wow. I didn't know. Dang. 38. Sheesh, we snuck out of there.
So we will take a break. McNeil is a tailback in this power formation. They run for it. Let me check that. That was Tyler who had checked in during the timeout. And let's go down below to Heather Cox to check
his report on Dion.
Linebacker. Heather.
Right, Brent. The Trojan defense certainly hoping to get Dion Bailey back. The medical staff is taping his right ankle. Coaches just came over to him and said, is it okay? And Dion responded, no, it's not okay, but I told the trainers to tape me up heavy. I missed the last big game.
Hasn't been okay since.
Was that a high ankle sprain? Or?
Yeah.
linebacker. He doesn't care about that injury right now. He wants to finish this game off.
What was the game you missed? They just said, I missed the last game. Which game did you miss? Do you remember?
Colorado, because I had got a concussion in the Stanford game, so they didn't let me play in Colorado.
McNeil, as we take a look at the Pacific Life game summary, and we compare Matt Barkley, who's thrown for
23 of 30, not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Wow.
He can show the rushing.
I know, right? How many yards?
Dual
Got about
threat.
150 rushing.
Yeah,
Not bad.
1 for 12.
My average is more than Michael James. Well, maybe not with the sacks.
And keep the ball away from the Ducks.
And at this point, that clock is as important as anything to Lane Kiffin.
Barkley is going to throw for it, and Ellison can't get the first down. Ellison is going to be pushed out. Troy Hill was
this was Brett's senior year?
That side, and he couldn't quite get it.
Yes.
Yeah. He was, you were talking about him, like, they ended up naming an award after him. I mean, he sort of became like a leader for this team, right?
Yeah, super. I say a hard worker, battled injuries, but never, like, was fazed by them. True Trojan.
Had a really good NFL career for somebody probably people didn't expect.
I remember him early on, like when I first got there as a freshman too. He'd always be after practice. Him and like Stanley immediately always hitting the sled, doing the sled, or doing extra work, and they just did what it took beyond, went the extra mile, and it paid off for those guys. But I learned that extra work and what it took from those guys.
Yeah, he was a pro for sure.
His receivers, Lee and Woods, against the younger corners from Oregon. When they left them one-on-one.
Dang. So how long is it going to be before stadiums are filled like this again?
A little different kind of game if it's played in an empty stadium, huh?
What?
Yeah. Virtual fans.
Pump some crowd noise in there.
I know. I was hoping they don't do the crowd noise. That's terrible. It's not realistic.
Have you? Oh well, in practice you had it. So.
I just remember like even preparing for games like this. They would had the speakers on the sideline, blasting just chaos,
it's just loud.
and fight songs. It's just loud noise. It's not like a real crowd.
Because of the confidence that he has in a 3-year starter in Barkley, it's affecting his play calling. It's not a run on every single down.
We had the ball for a long time.
Yeah, we did.
In the pass game, obviously, so he trusts him to be able to throw the ball.
Yeah, that was one of Chip's things. He never cared about time of possession.
Never.
Shoot, Kiffin did.
As they sit on the sideline and watch. 2nd and 9, and the clock comes.
Matt, what was it like as the game goes on and you're sort of talking to Lane, like Lane, the play caller, and you get at this point in your career. I mean, you guys just have such a feel for each other, or you're in a rhythm in a game like this. What's it like?
Yeah, I could kind of tell what he was going to next, and we had our, our game plan or our calls that we were going to, and so kind of knew what we had run, what we hadn't run yet. But again, like I said, at this point in the game, we were just trying to run the clock out. To be honest, protect the ball. So it was a run-heavy emphasis here, with the exception of third downs or like a second and long like this.
Barkley on that short drop. Pump fake comes back to the right side. High, intercepted.
Ooh. I don't get how they didn't call that.
I don't remember this.
Oh, I do.
Oh, yeah.
He was draped all over your back.
Yeah.
There was holding on one of his receivers to no avail.
Hey.
You knew they wasn't gonna call that. They like this game tight.
20 was a good player though. Is that Boyer or something like that?
Boyer.
To the left is Robert Woods being held by the corner Terrence Mitchell.
Look at that.
Oh, T. Mitch holding.
To make the play, the ball is thrown up and behind him, the tip, and there's Boyette to make the interception.
Time they hustled it.
He was sick on the sideline, huh, Word?
Man.
That was not a good game.
This stuff is like blatant. I was gonna say one thing I liked about Kiffin's call sheet. He had like FTS on there, whether it was 2 or 9, but feed the stud, and he always would like, or not always, but he would go with the hot hand if you're feeling it certain games, certain time. He knew how to get you the ball.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. I always said he's one of the great receiver coaches of all time. He's even as a head coach, as an OC, he was a receiver coach at SC in the beginning. But I mean, he's coached some of the most prolific seasons by receivers ever, and it's because he would really feed you.
Yeah, he would come work drills with us, practice, wet ball drills, low ball drills. He loved being around the receivers. But just the games and meetings, before the game, you're going to have a big one by Kiffin's vibe. If he's wanting to put it in the air, he'll come up to you before the game and say, you're going to break a record today. That's, how he's feeling. And really, it's like at him with us, it was like a video game. He could throw the ball to anybody, run the ball with any player, and anything could happen.
Play action to him. Darren Thomas down the middle. One-hand grab.
The one-hand catch, I remember.
And wrestled back at the 1-foot line. What a catch by David Paulson.
Oh, this is what y'all wanted to see. They wanted to see a game, boy.
That's a good catch.
And now straight ahead, touchdown Ducks. LaMichael James.
You see the camera shaking now, boy.
What is the confidence level at this point?
Woo! Just looking at that clock.
Hold off.
Hold off. I wasn't even in that drive. That's when I was like, all right, next drive, I'm taping up. I'm going out there.
You see these faces. The blank faces.
Blank. See, look at this, the little nonsense they used to do.
Darren Thomas fakes it.
Oh, we on that. We on that one.
Oh, wow.
And he was out of bounds. They're saying he was out of bounds. We'll take a look.
Wow.
So they ended up turning this over because it was a 3-point game.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
This is critical. I think he got it
This
in.
is close. This is close. Watch.
Yeah.
That's the tightest.
Oh, yeah, he's in. That dude was like 6'5", 6'6", though. I remember him. He was super tall.
Good ball
This is
adjustment.
upstairs to Bill Richardson.
Runner controlled the pass, got his left foot in bounds, and controlled the ball throughout process.
Yeah.
Ooh,
All right, so
nothing like college football.
now you burned 4 minutes here. You're down to 3. I mean, you're basically at this point, are you thinking just score and win the game, or are you thinking another first down and we basically got him?
I mean, a first down would be huge, right? We're trying to score this close.
What is the call here? Tell us what happens.
So it was Wymo
like
near right,
score.
16 release QB, and I had the option to take it around the edge. But because I saw that end coming off the edge, I was going to give it to Mark, but he thought the play was that I was keeping it no matter what. And I learned from that, and you don't even tell the running back you're doing anything. Like, even in the NFL now,
It's only one player.
we just pull it.
Two.
It's the X receiver. It's the backside receiver that you would tell. You don't even tell it because he didn't even think he was getting the ball there because he thought I was pulling it. But because there was an overhang end, there's no way I'm taking that. Yeah, it was not good.
And then this next drive is going to go, I think, straight to the kick. But this next drive was just sort of a bad clock management. They got down there and then they never called the timeouts.
I think they just weren't used to having to drive the field. Like, I don't think they had many drives down the field the whole year.
And it didn't seem like they liked their offense to stop. And timeouts was, so when they were moving it, they never wanted to call timeouts.
They just want to keep going.
Keep their rhythm.
Oh, man, heart was pumping right here. Overtime was not looking good for us.
No, it was not.
It was not looking good.
I think we ran out of plays or something.
Somebody moved him.
This is going against USC.
It sure is.
A member of the defense moved into the neutral zone, causing the offense to move.
Man, I didn't even know we jumped offside.
Yeah, bro.
They moved closer. Oh, I know I was Not confident on the sideline. Dang, he missed this kick. This is straight on.
It's a straight PAT.
Within his strike zone. So this to
He had to, bro. We had Matt Khalil on the flight line, bro. They on the flight line. They couldn't make it, bro.
USC.
What a time.
What a time.
Another big player in the BCS drama falls.
That was wild.
It's our championship year.
Yeah.
We're definitely a BCS team. Some BCS bowl we would have been in.
Because we want to run after this.
I remember you. I vividly remember this, Hayes, sitting on the bus after the game, and you going, "Man, so we want to come back here in 2 weeks and play these guys again?" And you just took like a deep sigh, like, "Oh, maybe it's all right that we're just won this one."
Oh,
they would have. Chip would have some stuff cooked up for us.
I'm just looking around for someone.
Ready talking trash. Who wants it?
This is all about our fans and our players. They've been through so much. They've had so much taken away from them. And
yeah, your interview, Matt. They don't show it here, but I saw it. Your interview is there's you and your teammates, little Crenshaw trio.
That's dope.
You said like it felt like you, Matt, that this was like we sort of do this one after that Stanford game that Stanford game was so epic at the Coliseum and probably should have deserved to win that one and to sort of get this one to erase that.
I tell you what, the NCAA is lucky we lost that Stanford game. If we would have won that Stanford game, it would have been hell to pay if we would have been sitting at home with that one loss to Arizona State.
One loss.
Hayes, you said the other day that this was your favorite SC game, the Oregon one.
Oh, for sure. Just because of that, that whole atmosphere. You got the athlete. Your favorite NBA athletes out there. The environment's good. They ranked high. Like, shoot, big players show up in big games. You know.
Well, the last thing I'm going to say is it's crazy. It's not even a decade later. We got wives, kids. Congratulations, Dion. Appreciate it. Baby.
Congratulations.
Soon. Matt's got all kinds of kids. Hayes, it's Coach Hayes now. How do you guys think Coach Hayes is going to do at SC?
Man, they just call me Hayes. I was like, I don't know if I like that yet. Call me P or something.
Hayes going to do great, man.
I think he'll do well. Bring that energy at practice.
Bro, you can't even do all of that.
Competitor. I mean, you're going to find ways to bring that energy to
them. For sure. Yeah,
I know.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Definitely.
Yeah.
even that, though, just bring that tradition, too. Let them know. All these young kids coming in who, commit to every school every other year, don't have any pride. Like, teach them what that Cardinal Gold's all about. It's important.
For sure.
Exactly.
Woody and Matt keep balling in the league. Fun watching you guys. And appreciate you guys all getting together to do this. Hope everyone has fun watching at home. And that was a great one. That was a great one. Great win for the Trojans, and these four guys led the way. So appreciate you all, and fight on, everyone.
No problem, Jordan. Good seeing you guys.
You guys.